This is Steven, a UK business owner doing over $1.2 million per year, but he's dealing with challenges from a gossip YouTube channel, and their lead flow acquisition model has gotten very expensive. If he doesn't fix this and fast, the business is going to stall and may start falling apart.
Offer is business coaching for Fit Pros. Core offers $997.
Okay, so all trainers.
Yeah, it's like a 10 grand PIF in USD. We obviously take it in GBP as well. We just keep it straightforward. I'm here. My business partner's in Dubai, so we kind of work across Dubai, UK, US time zones.
Okay,
so
got it. Okay.
We cover that. We've got like what I call like an ultra high ticket, which is our like boardroom type program. It's about 23K.
Okay.
And then we have like a low ticket program, which is around 4K.
Okay.
It's a 12-month program.
Jeez, that's pretty damn good price. My Lord.
Yeah. I mean, the objective of it has always been to, help trainers get to like 10K months, things like that. We scaled it to, the highest month we did was about 130 US.
Good for you.
We did that in August. 130, then it kind of went like 120, and then it's been like 110, 105 ever since. So yeah, we had like that huge month, and then it kind of stabilized down there.
Do you know why that had the huge month? Is it more ad spend? Like if I look at your ad spend, is it the same across the months?
We really just did payment plans. We never really did PIFs. And then we decided, right, okay, we're going to push PIFs a wee bit harder. So it's like someone had 4K, I would take 4K. If somebody only had 3, we would take 3.
Okay. Then you guys stopped doing that?
We didn't stop doing that. We kept doing that until around December. November, December was a bit of a disaster for us. So we kind of had single points of failure on setter and closer. We actually we're working with an agency to build a sales team. We had like a fractional sales manager in. They completely failed to do that. It was like a catastrophic failure. So we actually left them.
Sorry, it's not funny. It's just
no, I know.
It's like fractional sales manager. I'm like,
So we actually left them with less sales team members than we joined them with. So I think we've sort of got to like the core root of the problem now, in that we're like, our message is just going to the wrong people. Like we're messaging to like broke coaches basically. And we're getting broke people on calls. So our closer, he was completely booked out, which is why we tried to get a second and grow it.
Real quick pause there. So what's happening is, okay, so here's your application, right? You got all your questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the point of an application. This may seem rudimentary, but follow me. They come to the call. Okay, now if you're a good closer, that's the number one thing. Because if you're a shit closer, what do? Oh, the lead. It's like, it's always the leads. That's not always true. But what you're looking at is, did this call line up with the application? Okay, so let's say this call does, this call does, this call didn't, this call didn't, this call didn't, and this call didn't. What that means is you guys are booking calls that should never got booked. So you're saying your sales guy is booked out, but you're just booked, like, in your head, I get it as an owner, you're like, hey, the more calls we book, the more chance to close. But the problem with that is then you become inefficient. So if you guys are looking for another closer at 130,000 of revenue, or all that tells me is you guys have no clue how to actually fill the calendar. You're just filling it with garbage.
Yeah.
Is that kind of,
no, and that's
I see this multiple times over, because you're like, you just have to have it in your head. One closer can handle this much revenue. So this is 25K a month commission. This is 40K. If you're getting 40K, you're a beast. Like, you're working a ton of hours, crazy offer, crazy. But usually I would say, like, most closers, 20, 25K a month, they're working pretty good hours. They live a pretty good life. It's pretty posh. Like, you guys are just not there. So that just tells me you're booking calls that shouldn't be booked. A lot of people I talk to, like, I had a girl, she was like, I need sales reps. I'm like, where are you at? She's like, 60 grand a month. I'm like, that makes no sense. She canceled 30% of her calls off the apps. And then she did 120,000 taking the same amount of calls. I was like, your job is not to like do a Hail Mary. It's just, if they're not qualified, setter reaches out, tries to re-qualify. If they can't, cancel the call. Like, period. And then it's always like that. Yeah. Do you run most of your ads to DMs or straight to page?
No, straight to the page. Yeah.
Straight to page?
Yeah. We tried running the DMs and we didn't get.
Well, look, just so you know, like, when you run ads straight to page is easier to scale because there's nothing happening. And calling's a lot easier. DMs, I've done a lot of DMs, but that's only because I never could get straight to page to work as well. So, but I've seen a lot of different stuff in the industry. So it's like, don't get too caught up on what works for you. Cause you'll see someone who's doing, like, I'm good friends with Cole Gordon, right? And you brought Boardroom. Like, people will be like, this is how, I'm like, dude, but it doesn't matter how he's doing. It's like, it's not working for you. So what you have to do is just like get the skill set good enough, and then if it's not working, be willing to adjust to what it is,
Yeah, so. And that's like we're definitely down to do that. So we're doing like an SLO as well, which is self-liquidating pretty well. It's like a white label resources into more resources into a course and then into booked call. We're getting loads of booked calls off it, but again, it's like low level people, you know, they're filling out like,
What is that? So what's the price point on that?
oh, so it goes $17 into 27.
27 order bump.
Yeah, 27 order bump. Then there's a 97 order bump, which discounts to 67 if they reject it.
Okay.
And then book a call.
And you're saying, are you guys you're breaking even?
Some days we break even, some days we make a profit, some days it's a little bit under.
What's
but
the ad spend on this usually?
Ad spend on this right now, we're spending like 500 a day.
Okay, so it's not crazy. Okay. Here's the pro and con of what you're doing. The pro is like you have less competition because you're only marketing to trainers. Yeah. That's good. That makes it easier for you to win. The downside of that is you can't go as broad.
Yeah.
So like I don't really like low ticket offers unless they can go super broad, because if it's how to make $800 extra a month selling audiobooks, dude, you're going to get way more volume. You're going to get way more people through there. That's the only thing, like off the top of my head, without seeing numbers, if you're spending $500 a day and you're already having a hard time scaling, it just gets harder as you go broader, as you know, because as you spend $1,000, it goes even wider.
Yeah.
That's usually the issue I saw with that. And I'm just coming back to my straight fit program. That's the biggest. So even that, like when I was not where you guys are at, I was like a little higher, like 300. But that's actually why I opened Elite COs, because not saying I couldn't have made it work, but I was like, bro, if I'm getting so many leads, but because they're not trainers, my team won't sell them. So I'm like, let's just sell them now. And then we started selling them, and then we grew. The downside of that though, is there's a lot of like, let's say, general business coaches, right? So it's way more competitive, and it makes fulfillment way harder, because now when they come in, my coach has to be way better.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
End of the day, it comes down to your goals. What's your goal?
We wanted to get it to $1 million a month.
Yeah, $1 million a month.
Steven has goals of hitting $1 million per month, but it just isn't going to happen unless he goes more broad or he starts going viral with organic content. One of the benefits of being niched down is there's less competition, so you're one of the only options to choose from. The downside is, as you try to scale ads, more and more leads are simply not a fit.
The only way you're going to get to $1 million a month in Fit Pro is either you get massive organic.
Yeah.
So like when I think of, he lives in Miami too. You probably know Brandon Carter. He's been doing the same offer for like, I mean, it seems like he's a dinosaur at this point.
Yeah.
He doesn't really want to move, but he has a really good organic following. So my hypothesis is he's also, I don't think, not doing $1 million a month, but my hypothesis is he makes a lot of money off his organic following, which is great.
Yeah.
The other thing is like if you guys go to ads, I think even if you get to like around 300, you're going to start running into issues if you haven't already. If you go broader, you could do that, but it's more competition.
Yeah.
And so that's the downside, is like you're like right now you're kind of in your own little pond, and that's actually a benefit. If you go over, sometimes it's better to be a big fish in a small pond than like a small fish in a big pond.
Yeah.
I think realistically though, for you guys to hit $1 million a month, like that's a massive increase. We're talking, let's say 8x.
Yeah, right now we're just trying to get to 200, 300, you know what I mean? Like,
Right. Can you give me your like last 3 months of ads? So it's like how much you spent, cost per lead, cost per call, CAC.
December, ad spend was, this is in GBP by the way, so 14,118.68.
You don't have to tell me the cents, just
yeah. January was 19.6.
Okay.
February's was 24.2.
Okay, and then give me the metrics for each.
Okay, so
you just start with 1 month and then go through the next one.
Yeah, so December, cash collected in December was 13,042.
Okay.
Total customers we acquired was 7.
Divide by 7, you're at about 2016. That's what I got for CAC. Okay, what's your other numbers?
In December still?
Yeah, do the cost per lead, cost per call, and then CAC. Okay. All right, cost per lead, and how many leads did you have? 38. Okay, and then do you guys push straight to a triage call no matter what? So it's ad, 15-minute call, 60-minute call?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so I just want to understand that. Click on the ad, I opt in, and then it's book a 15-minute call.
Yeah.
Is there a video where it has you book a call or no?
Yeah, there's a video.
Okay. But technically your leads could be lower because they could opt in but not book a call technically, right?
Yeah.
We could count it in this sense, but technically, because like that for a lead is like super expensive.
Yeah, there's probably people I would probably need to dive
that
into
just opt in. But do you guys call those people?
We do now, yeah, from January.
All right, cool.
Before we didn't have like an outbound call center.
Okay.
We got that now. So
Okay.
And then there was 49.
Way better month. You see that? I mean, obviously, but like we'll go through it. And then what was your customers?
Customers.
Okay, so yeah, so your CAC though was way up. Okay, cool.
Yeah, CAC was huge.
Okay, last month. 150. Okay. 403. Okay. And then what's your CAC? All right. And then just so I'm aware, what's your spend to cash collected? Is it like this is what you collect?
Like we only collected 8.7 cash in February.
Okay.
So we spent.
What's what's the total revenue though?
41.
Okay. Okay. And then what was January?
January was cash collected was 20.7.
Okay.
And contract value was 52.1.
Okay. And then what was
December?
Yeah.
Cash collected 13. Contract value 67.6.
Okay. This one right here, so the 67, is this the 10K packages you guys are mostly selling?
So I can give you the breakdown of like what they sold. So this is the
okay.
problem. They're having issues selling the higher tickets. So in February, they only closed 2 of the 10Ks.
What are they selling if they don't buy the 10?
The 4K.
The 4? What's the 4? Is it group?
Yeah, it's a group coaching program, yeah.
I don't think 10K is that crazy. I mean, for 12 months, that's cheap, dude. Like, that's really dirt cheap. Like, I thought, I do 10K for 3 months. The cash collected is not great.
Yeah.
So that's pretty obvious. I mean, every single month, you're barely collecting what you spend. So you guys can't, like, it's not a bad thing per se. It's like you guys are still probably making decent money. You have some recurring revenue, but you definitely can't scale.
Yeah.
I mean, like, you can't scale at all. This month was fucking horrible. A couple thoughts right off the bat. So your cost per triage call is pretty high, except this month was okay. But to get a sales call, $400 is a lot, bro. That's way too expensive. Like, to be frank, like a few issues here is like, we got to collect more cash, and that's obvious. We'll get to that in a second. The other thing is like, we got to drive down the cost. The cost is too high, meaning this is part, like what you're going through, this is part of why people can't scale, because eventually the metrics no longer make sense.
Yeah.
So that's where you're kind of
That's
fucked.
kind of where we're at, yeah.
What you're doing right now, right? So you got add 15, opt-in, 15, and then that call, and then a 60. Like, the only issue is like, it's so expensive for you to get this already. If you could get a sales call for 150,
yeah.
What I would do instead is like, they opt in, they book a call. They can you could have a setter call them, right? So we'll put setter over here. The setter calls those people to then book. We'll go over here. Sorry. This doesn't make any sense. So the setter can call someone and they don't have to watch the VSL, or they can book from there. The benefit, in my opinion, is if they book from the VSL and they're not qualified, the setter can text and call them and just say, hey, saw your application, looks pretty good, but we saw this, to try to clarify. Like, there's 3 questions we look for. It's like, when can you move forward? We're looking for ASAP. Are you willing to invest financially? And do you need a spouse's permission? If they say those 3 and they're good to go, then the call is good. If they don't, we'll follow up on that. I would try to create less friction, because to be frank, I've never seen this model work at scale. I don't know one person who does it at scale. Everyone I usually talk to starts running into issues. Your numbers here need to be here. Yeah. Like, these are way, I mean, look at this, $882. I mean, dude, Jesus Christ. Like, for a sales call, that's crazy. And the call I think you're going to have to make is, if I'm you and I have a sales rep, I would be reviewing what's happening on the triage calls and happening on the sales calls. Now, there's one of 2 things. Either one, he's doing a great job, or number 2, he's doing a bad job. Okay, so let's just walk through that. So if he's doing a great job, then you got to figure out a way to bring down the marketing costs, because you're like you're basically saying, hey, he's doing an excellent job, but we can't find good leads. Yeah. Which, like, I don't know what you're doing. We could look at the marketing, but you'd have to figure that out. Number 2 is he's doing a bad job, and then you either need to train him and improve him, or get someone new. Yeah. So number 1 thing I would try is get rid of the 15-minute. Like, if you haven't tried that, I would try the exact same strategy you're doing, but then instead he calls everyone. There's no triage. They can book directly to a sales call. See if your numbers improve, because these numbers are too high. I mean, there's no universe where these numbers work for your price point. And like, if they were going to work, your price point would have to be like 25 grand or some shit. Number 2, what I would do, price drop, and I'll walk you through how to do it. I don't know, you've probably seen some of my trainings, but I'm going to walk you through it anyways. So usually when I close, okay, so I'll say, hey, the price of the program is 10K. They say, hey, it's too expensive, right? So some of this will be simple to you. Totally get it. Is there anything else besides the price that will stop you from moving forward? So I isolate. They're like, no, it's just the price. Okay, so I get the first tie down. Okay, then I go here.
Yeah, that's in the script.
Double tie down. Okay, so it's like, cool. So we figure out the price you're in. Yes, great. So then I ask for cash on hand. You probably are familiar with that. Yeah. Okay. So from here, once I know the cash on hand, I think your number's too high. 2,500 is like most people should be able to do it.
Yeah.
But the problem is right now your CAC is fucking through the roof. Like you're like for you to scale, these numbers are not bad. But if you're trying to scale, let's say to $1 million a month, it's like, well, bro, like if you keep going at this pace, it'll be 30,000 CAC at $1 million. What I would do here is like, I think your minimum should be 1,000, right? As long as they're, because if you divide that by 12, that's actually the lowest you can go. So to me, once I get to here, I'm like, cool, what's your cash on hand situation? Checking credit, you know, you figure that out, right? Checking savings, credit cards, what do you have that you can actually afford to spend? What do you make in a month? What do you spend? Okay, and let's say they say anything below 1,000, the call is basically over. So let's say you're like a $4,000. I'm down to work something out for you. Obviously the 10,000 may not make sense right now because you only have $4,000, but I just want to make sure if I figure something out, you'll move forward today, right? They say that. Usually from there, they'll say, well, what are you going to figure out? I just say, hey, no, don't worry about it. Like I'll make it work, but I just want to make sure you'll move forward. Because if you don't, usually what they say after you lower the price, they go, oh, let me think about it.
Yeah.
If they have $4,000, okay, and let's say that's all they had, your option is either you could take $4,000 for 12 months, which is not great, but alternatively, you can make 0. And based on your numbers right now, like your guys' numbers are so high, like I don't really think you should be pushing that away because even if they give you $4,000, the way you look at it is the $4,000 right now at least gets you an extra sell that you can put into ads. And then maybe that person does a pay in full. So to me, staying in business sometimes too is extending the runway. It's not necessarily like, that's not great, but it gives you a chance to spend more to get a chance to get a better look.
Yeah.
Number 3, your closer, in my opinion, if he's able to drop the price that low, they should be closing you 40 to 50%. Because think about it, if you're able to lower the price, like it makes it easier to close. Like I know this for a fact, I've done it.
And when you say lower the price, do you mean just take like
like kind of what I just did,
like 4K off them for the full 12 months, or 4K and then the rest on a payment plan?
I mean, it's whatever they can do. So like for example, if the guy says like in your situation, the guy's like, look, I got $4,000, that's it.
Yeah.
And like, I don't really make a lot of income. I got 4,000 in savings. I would take $4,000 for the full year because the hard thing here's the shitty part. You're doing it for a year. So it's a bigger deal than my program where it's for 4 months.
Yeah.
But if you think about it, like, let's say you're like, okay, cool, I'll make it work. And then you change the program. A lot of people, they get turned off by that.
Yeah.
So usually you can't change the program. So the way I tell my team, I say, look, here's the minimum for you. I think it's 1,000. Here's the minimum. As long as they can spend above that per month, sling it.
Yeah.
If they can't, and then you can even give them a total. You're like, 5K total for the year, $1,000 a month. If they can't at least do 5K total or $1,000 a month, skip the deal.
Yeah.
But to me, that right there will get you more sales. That lowers your CAC and that gives you a better chance. Right now, your numbers are way too high.
Yeah.
Way too high.
Way too high.
Do you do retargeting?
We do a little bit of retargeting, but not anything crazy.
Oh, dude, yeah, you got to do that. Okay, so I'm going to walk you through retargeting. Yeah, because retargeting makes up a lot of your results. So retargeting is usually 20% of your budget.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say we did this month. So if you did 20% of your budget, you're doing $4,000 on retargeting. That's like $100 a day.
Yeah.
You have 2 different retargetings. You have middle of funnel, which usually is social media engagers, so SME.
Yeah.
Okay, and then page views, but they're not leads.
We do a bit of that now, yeah.
Okay, so I do that. Bottom of funnel is leads, but no call.
Okay.
Okay, so right there, these are the people who, hey, they've taken every action in the funnel. They just haven't booked a call. These are the people who like, they just clicked on the ad and that's it usually. So even if you start doing that, the budgets are super slim, but you got to keep in mind, like your whole running ads is like a funnel. So top of funnel is strangers, right?
Yeah.
Middle of funnel is, like,
they're aware.
Yeah, SME page views. Bottom of funnel are these people who are leads. So the whole point of this is like at each step, they're still getting shown stuff to like try to push them to the next thing. With the frequency, I'm pretty aggressive. I usually like 4 frequency in a week. So it's pretty aggressive. So meaning, if they're at these stages, they'll see an ad to take this next step 4 times in a week. That's pretty aggressive. I want to go above 4 though, because it starts getting out of KPI. But that's pretty aggressive. This right here also is super simple to do. So retargeting. Okay. The other thing is if you run ad to opt-in, it doesn't work. You could try DMs. DMs I know are not ideal. It's more work when you have to message everyone. But that's one of the things that made us successful is because what I would do, our methodology that really helped us scale is ad, DM, VSL, right? Or I guess this was opt-in, excuse me. VSL, call. So what was cool is they could book here, but they could also book here.
Yeah.
Right. And we were calling them on top of that. So there's a lot of shit, bro.
Yeah.
Right. Another strategy you guys could try that I've seen work with some success, but it's more of a setup, is you could run an ad to like, let me do an opt-in, to a school group, right? And then they come in the group and they have a curriculum, right? And then the curriculum is like X amount, right? And you guys basically give them the sauce, but there's different places that they can book a call. Yeah. That would be the other thing, because like what would happen is you guys might, I don't know what your lead cost is now. I mean, well, it's insane. I don't know what your opt-in rate is, but let's say you guys could get leads for $5. That's another way you could try to increase flow. Now the downside is what's happening when you do this, lower intent usually. So if they have lower intent, it's like you're getting more volume, but it's like, is getting more leads with lower intent gonna supersede this?
See, I think that's kind of the issue we've got now, because we were getting a lot of leads from the self-liquidating offer, which actually I suppose makes that not as bad, because that 24.2K, a lot of that has pumped back in from sales of the resources as well.
Okay.
But
I would do usually middle of funnel as wide as you can go. So like 180. This one is usually like 30 or less. If it's too expensive, like if your numbers are too expensive, you lower the window, because the closer the window is, the more intent they have. So they're going to take more action.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, a couple of questions.
Sure.
So see the application form, like what specific, I'm just curious, like what specific questions you would ask for, because I can compare it to my own name.
Yeah. So out of all the questions, if you ever need CRs too, you can go to CRs@elitesales.com. That's just a quick trick. But the 3 questions I really care about, because there's a lot of stuff you can ask, but the 3 questions I really care about is, we'll say something like, if you feel it's a fit, are you able to invest financially? We like to leave it, now keep in mind, I also like open-ended questions, because we follow up. So remember, we do a lot of DM ads. So if they give us a shit answer, guess what we do? We follow up.
Right.
Right.
So you don't put the, you obviously don't put the cost, you don't do like, can you invest between X and Y or anything like that?
No,
because
I hate when people do that, because you guys put 0 to here, and then they pick the lowest number every time.
Yeah.
So it's basically a waste. Like all you're trying, because to me, if you sell it at least 1,000, dude, there's no fucking person who shouldn't be able to do at least 1,000 usually.
Yeah. So you would have it as a text box rather than like a yes or no?
Oh yeah, bro.
Okay.
Written in, multiple choice is only good for tons of volume. Otherwise, written in is way better. If I say to you, what's your biggest struggle? And I'm like, this, or this, you have to choose. But if I just open end, dude, you give me way more info.
Yeah.
Way more context. So I'm always a bigger fan of context. Okay. Number 2 is, I'll say, if I always do this to like, if you feel it's a fit, because some people are like, well, what if I don't feel it's a fit?
Yeah.
If you feel it's a fit, how soon can you get started? Okay. Yeah. Again, I like to have open-ended. Usually you're looking for like as soon as possible, because if they're like, well, I can't start for 3 months, like can come back in 3 months, dude.
Yeah.
But again, you follow up it, like don't just cancel these calls, follow up. So that's a big thing my team's good at. Every single application we get zaps into Slack and they'll follow up, bro. Right. Every single one. Okay. Number 3, do you need a spouse's permission to make a decision? That's the biggest one. Okay. To make a decision. Now, if you ever want to influence the answer, here's a hack. Just put it in parentheses. So let's say on this one, you want to influence their decision, right? Because if they're like, no, you'll go, if you do, please book a time like they can be present in parentheses. Because like you want it to be written out, but you're trying to influence their decision. So like same thing here. You can say, if you feel it's a fit, are you able to invest financially? If you're not, like I wouldn't change the question. I would just put like, if you're getting a lot of broke people, I put, if you're not, please book a time when you can. Okay. Right? Because you're influencing their decision. Like this is the right answer, but you can write it in. And I like write in better than multiple choice, because multiple choice doesn't tell you very much.
Yeah. What would be your like workflows off the back of this? So like they book a call. Do you have like a certain way that emails, texts, things like that go out to them?
Well, yeah. I mean, like once they come in, we have a like a 14-day email sequence.
Okay.
We'll do 3 texts in between there, pushing them to a call. And then after that, the next 2 weeks is like a downsell. And then after that, next 2 weeks is a downsell. And then we just put them in our long-term nurture.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Yeah. I think we're doing that anyway. So that's probably already covered.
Yeah, as long as you guys, like, as soon as the lead comes in, call, text, email, you're doing all that stuff, retargeting ads. Usually you should have some group or like school group, like long-term nurture. When you're doing that, dude, it's like, that's pretty much all you can do. There's not much more you can do after that.
Yeah, I think, I think we need to maybe change our marketing message a wee bit as well.
I would just make it a little bit,
with all this.
make it a little bit more professional, but like, just think about higher level owner, like what are the issues they have and talk about those.
Yeah.
Instead of, hey, like, how would you like to be in a pool? Because I totally understand that, and there's gonna be more beginners. But if that's the issue you guys are having, you're gonna get beginners either way.
Yeah.
Even if you up the ad, you're still gonna get beginners. That's the funny part. It doesn't
because they're gonna see it and want it.
Yeah,
anyway.
It doesn't 100% fix it. There's more beginners than there are experts, 100%. So like I only like working with higher level people if I can, but like you have to have a barrier to entry, and the problem with barrier to entry is if it doesn't make financial sense for the business. So like even these, like usually there's a cost, but that's on purpose.
Yeah.
Like and I don't want to do 1 million of these either.
Yeah.
So I can't do as many of these, but that's usually the downside when you go after higher level people.
Yeah.
Those are the things Steven can control and needs to fix if he wants his business to grow again. These videos are highly asked for, so if you want to see another one, just click here.